What's up, Canalifiers, and welcome to a slightly different episode than what you may be used to. Sorry about my hair, it's looking quite weird. It's alright though. It's morning hair. Anyway, since I wasn't really feeling the whole Assetto Corsa thing, I was only gonna upload one episode a week. I thought I'd just show you what I do, like the process from creating a video to the final product, if you will. So this is what I use. Maybe you know what this is. This is OBS, or Open Broadcaster software. This is what I use to record. And you can see down in the sources here all the different kinds of sources that I use. So if I were to play the crew, I would check that and just launch the game. That's basically how I do that. Once I've started the game or recorded my whole thing, I bring that whole software, I record that on my G drive here. So you can see I have some source videos here. This is the one from, well, this is the one now. This is the one from yesterday, so you can open that and see. So basically the process of me waiting for the game to launch and so on. Yeah, you know, that sort of stuff, waiting and being slightly awkward on camera and stuff like that. That's really weird. I normally don't watch the whole video. I render it and watch the final product. But what I do with that video, I open Vegas Pro, so we'll open that. And I'll just cross out the whole thing there, because you can't see that. None of that. Anyway, I bring in my stuff here, my raw material into this, and I have a lot of like removed stuff, that way that pops up. So here is what I use. So I use a lot of tracks. So the main tracks are the 7 and 8. Those are the main video and audio tracks. That's where I put my source video, and beneath that, as you can see, it's quite lower, it's the music, and then below that is if I'm doing a voiceover or something. That's why that's there. Then above the source video, you know what I'm talking about. We have the intro or the outro, which is its own lane, because that just makes it easier to sort out stuff. Above that, we have additional footage and audio. So if I were to add something special, like another video top on something where I'm showing you something, I put it there, so I can separate all of that and do mixing separately. And above that, of course, I have two other, for example, text media or something like that. That's where I put that. So this is basically how a product looks when I'm working with it. Now, of course, you might ask how I like do my settings and all of that. So I'm gonna bring that square over here, so you can see the general recording here. I have two different profiles. One is for recording and one is streaming, so it changes everything. And encoding, I use the NVIDIA Shadowplay, I think it's called, Shadowplay, with custom settings, so 60 FPS at 50 megabits, which is 50,000 kilobits, and 320 bit audio, and I normally put it at 48, but sometimes there's an issue, so I just do it that way. Broadcasting is nothing special, just stream key and stuff like that. Always record at 1080p at 60 FPS, that's very crucial to me. The audio sources that I use, since I use an external sound card, I actually, so the way this works is, you can see the mic here has a sock on it to prevent popping or peaking of sound when I'm using PFS, like powerful helpful syllables, letters. Let's just say letters. Because if you try to yourself and you say I, hold your hand in front of your face and say I, and then say F, you can feel the air there. All that air is going straight to your microphone, and since I'm using a condenser microphone, it's very crucial to have something in front of it to block that air. That's why I'm getting such nice quality. Right. So anyway, I have that external sound card, but the problem is that I don't want to force auxiliary to mono. So if I were to use this line in 1 and 2, which is the two inputs that I have on my sound card, it would go to one side of the cup. That way I have to force it to mono, which might make other stuff just sound weird. That's why I'm using basically stereo out from the sound card into a stereo inlet on my motherboard, which is the line in here, as you can see. And then I can do all the monitoring and change the sound levels and make slight modifications to the sound to make it better, basically. And I don't do anything here. It's just like I don't need to push the talk, I don't need to boost the microphone or anything like that. It's minus 10 decibels at the moment. I have a switch on the microphone. It will go loud, so I'm not gonna touch it. I don't use any hotkeys. As far as the video advanced settings go, I use the NVIDIA Shadowplay default setting because that follows what I've already predetermined in NVIDIA Shadowplay. And constant frame rate, and since like the one thing that I really like with my graphics card is I don't have to stress my CPU at all, except for, you know, maybe a few percent when recording, and, you know, otherwise it's just a game. So at the moment I'm recording now, I have a few other stuff up as well. As you can see Chrome here with Monica and Chandler talking down, watching Friends. I don't know why it's fine. Come on. But it's using 13%, and the game normally uses somewhere between 35 to 40, maybe 50, usually not above that. But when I was recording using the X264, I would get up to 90% of CPU usage. Just unnecessary usage of the CPU, stressing it unnecessarily, you know. As much I can take away from the CPU as possible is better, you know. And of course I have the 16 gigabytes of RAM as well, so that helps a lot. Not so much in recording, but a lot in editing. So that's sort of that covered, I think. If you have any other questions about how any of that works, ask me down below and I'll try and answer them best as I can. But as you see here, I have my layout here, so I always record them on the same, because it's, as I said before, unnecessary for me to use more CPU than I should. I don't see the point of it. So I use as little of the CPU as possible, so I'm using my webcam as an overlay over the video. Then I edit, cut everything, ungroup if I need to change the settings here. You can see my HQ here. It's a bit high there, but I really like since I have a sort of dark voice, it enhances my voice over the already sometimes loud sound from the game. And this is what I use to sort of improve that. I know I shouldn't boost anywhere here, but there is noise down to 20 Hz on my microphone, and that's most of what you hear now. And then I don't really use the noise gate. I use some compression depending on if the audio is too loud or something like that, or too low. Then I just boost it and make it great, basically. So once I've edited my video and so on, I think about what music I should have. So you can see a few tracks here. Most of them are from Global Sound Promotion, but a lot of them are from the YouTube audio library, which Inc used to monetize unmonetized videos. So for example, I've started using one intro song, which is Champ, that's what it's called, from the YouTube audio library. They have a lot of other stuff like sound effects and stuff like that, but you know, I don't use sound effects yet, so I don't see the point of it. And then I have sort of an outro song, which I'm leaning towards using Flickr, this one here. I think that sounds good. It makes it sort of, I don't know, it just sounds right to me. But sometimes I mix it up. For example, if you hear a lot of songs in one straight away, you will hear it to the end of the video as well, as you've seen in my recent videos. But that's basically the process of doing everything. Of course I render. So this is, what is this? A little bit over 9 minutes. Multiply that by at least 3. That's how long it takes to render a video. So if I were to render, I go in here and you can see my customized template here. So full HD, main profile 60 FPS, progressive scan, pixel ratio 1, and I use the same bitrate as I use to record. It's a bit overkill to use 50 sorry, it's a bit overkill to use 50 megabits per second in video when you're uploading it to YouTube, but I've noticed, at least when I record and stuff like that, since YouTube has their own compression, the higher bitrate you have, the better the quality is, you know, the outsourced quality from YouTube. One other thing that you can also do is upscale it. So say you're recording at 1080p, then upscale it to 4K and then render it again. Sometimes it looks better, sometimes it doesn't. It sort of varies on how good your original quality is. But I know a few people who sort of upscaled and downscaled to get a slight sharpness advantage. But I don't see the point of that, it's just unnecessary time. So of course, this utilizes a bit of CUDA. So I render that, name it, for example, if this is a Project Cars video, I will name it PC and then the date. So if there's something wrong in my video, if I'm getting complaints, if I have issues with the song or whatever, I just can re-upload it. So I know which one it is, and then I just create it again. So then I click render and it renders to my SSD, which I've already showed you over here. And this is some videos already. Goes back to the 3rd. So I sort of I let it stay there for roughly a week, but I had to clean up a little bit, so that's why I do that sometimes. And what I also do, that you might have noticed, I take screenshots of all the games. So for example, the most recent one that I used was this one for the cars. So I just either do a replay or something, and then I put that into Photoshop and create a video, a thumbnail from that. Same with the Assetto Corsa videos. I take a screenshot of it. Normally the showroom, as you've seen, but sometimes some other places has this one as well. So that's basically everything that goes into editing. Not editing, doing everything from start to finish. And this took quite a long while. I'm sorry that it took so long to complete this video. But as I said, I wasn't really feeling the way Assetto Corsa was, and I thought, since I've had a few questions about the way I record or, you know, my setup and so on, I thought I'd just put this in here because I'm sort of doing a tour on Friday. So if you're interested in watching what living in a very small apartment is like, you can just click that subscribe button and see how I live. If you like these kind of videos, just tell me down below and I'll do more of them. Any questions are welcome, so just ask away. Thanks so much for watching. Give a like if you liked the video, and you know, you can always dislike, but why would you do that? Right. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow with the crew, so have a nice day.